Bring it on. Want some, get some. Can I get a hell yeah?
Yes, I am a pirate.
You have to go with the pirates because, of course, they have cannons and everything.
It's a pirate's life for me.
Be proud of who you are and what you are. You're pirates.
It is a first down. Pirates.
Because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
I think I've ever been in a building as loud as that was. It was deafening in there.
We will get to Omaha. I can promise you that.
And it's purple all night long in Eastern North Carolina.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.
Yeah. My heart is purple and gold. I'm a pirate down of my soul. And I don't back down, not at all. Find out when the cannons explode.
All right, welcome into Extra Innings. And we are actually, even though it looks like I'm in the jungle, we're broadcasting live from my new adventure called the Snack Shack in downtown Williamson. So we'll be talking about that from now to hopefully eternity. We want to be open. So we're open for business tonight, talking about, of course, baseball and Pirate baseball. We'll be looking at a lot of cool things, including the Pirates get a sweep this weekend. We're very happy about that. We'll break down the Duke game in Durham. We'll preview this week Wilmington and Florida Atlantic. So Wilmington's on the road. Florida Atlantic is home. So we have a home stand, a home series this week. Make sure you get your tickets, ecupirates.com. Let's bring in now Coach Paul Hill. How are you, sir?
Hey, how y'all guys doing?
We're doing really well, man. Love to have you guys at the Snack Shack. Maybe y'all can come over here and do a show with me one night.
That sounds great.
Yeah, especially Landis. You can bring those. I know I call them pecans. Y'all call them pecans. We had a debate one night that went way too long on that, how to pronounce that. Anyway, we have Kyle from LaGrange back. What's up, dude?
I don't know, man. My internet or my phone one is being goofy as a pet coon.
Okay.
Check your cable.
Yeah,
apparently.
And Kyle actually has good internet. So we used to tease someone else before about their AOL back in the day. Christian Bateman, finally, you've made it 1 week married. I think you're married. I see it all on Facebook, like every hour.
Hey, congratulations! Start me up, baby.
Every hour you have about.
Fellas.
I guess you have to remind yourself that you're married because it's every week, every hour on the hour. It's like you can set your watch. So anyway, congratulations, but don't put any more stuff about that you're married. I'm going to block you on Facebook. Let's see. So Pirates are 18. Yeah, Pirates are 18-10. Halfway through the season, we'll be talking about, and we'll get your thoughts and feelings of the first half as we have the second half to go. Pirates fell short in Durham, and they actually did very well. Swept Rice and Houston, so we had a 3-1 week. I know, Kyle, for you, when we go 3-1, you're very happy.
Yeah, it was a good week. I mean, you wanted to beat Duke midweek. I think the fans are really getting irritated with the lack of in-state wins, but the most important thing is to do well in conference. 6-0 in conference, it gives you, we're first place. It gives you a little leeway down the stretch if you lose the series in conference. So, the biggest thing is at this point to try to secure an at-large bid without having to win the conference tournament is to try to win the league. And, it'd be nice, though, this coming week against Wilmington to get a midweek win. Get some momentum against the in-state opponent. But, yeah, going 3-0 on the road at Rice. And the way, of course, Saturday night's game, guys, we were down at a friend's house, and I missed most of the game. Turned it on the way home and got to watch the extra innings. And obviously Jake Hunter, with the home run, or with the home run, with the hit, getting the score, and then coming out in the bottom of the inning and just shutting them down. Hell of a performance for him, and he'll never forget.
No doubt. In fact, Christian, I know you said, what was the last, you had that stat. Christian is more or less our basketball and baseball insider as he's helping us out with the show. We want to have him on. Who was the last pitcher to do that, to get a hit?
I believe it was Benny T when they played against the University of Cincinnati.
Okay. All right. So I'll look that back. You sent it in our group text, so I'm going to look back.
Benny T. I do not remember Benny T.
Yep.
Okay.
He was from the
Victor
1940s.
Christian,
Okay.
what year was that? I'm trying to go back myself.
Well, if we were playing Cincy, that would have been either Conference USA or the American, and it couldn't have been
Right.
the American because we would have remembered it. So it's got to be Conference USA. So you
Yeah,
got to be
it
talking
wasn't the
about
American. It was
Conference USA. Yeah.
it was on the road at Cincinnati.
Gotcha.
In Conference
It was
USA
on the
Day,
road at
early
Cincinnati.
2000s.
I cannot remember the year.
All right.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
Yeah,
It was 2000.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we are glad to have each and every one of you tonight. And just want to go around we've got Kyle's thoughts. I'll go to Christian now, making his extra innings debut. Get your thoughts on this past week for the Pirates.
Oh, man, Dave, my Wi-Fi cut out. What'd you say?
Man, I tell you what, LaGrange and Cresswell, man. I mean, I would
Hey, it's a struggle, man.
Your thoughts on the week in baseball for the Pirates, Christian?
Tough loss against Duke. Got to watch a little bit on my honeymoon. What did we all think about the ejection of Cliff, and was it a justifiable reason?
Oh, okay. It's I'll talk about that, but I'm gonna get the two baseball players' reaction. But I'll give you my reaction. Okay, so it's a hard-fought game. You have in-state rivalry. You have a player that had a great at bat for Duke, and I will give him credit for that, right? But what happened was he took his bat and slammed it on the plate. That is when Cliff lost his mind, and he said a few things I couldn't, read his lips, and then pointed to first base like, all you had to do, you had a great at bat, great, just take your base. Well, all of a sudden that time, you have Chris Pollard that runs out of the dugout. I said, this is not going to end good. And he's like saying stuff like, don't talk to my player. Then Cliff Godwin runs out, and I said, all of a sudden, next thing you know, you see this for Pollard, and then you see this.
I think it's fair. He ejected them both. Without just for transparency, and then we'll let the two baseball guys comment on it then with more sense than me. But for transparency, I did not get to see the game. I recently downgraded my satellite package and don't have ACC Network. Won't have it again until football season. So I just listened to the game.
What are you doing, Kyle?
I'm saving money, but just for transparency reasons, tell that. But just the way it sounded, ejecting them both, I have no problem with that. If they had ejected one or the other, eject them both. Keep things calm, cooler heads prevail. Umpire taking control of the game. Maybe it was an overreaction, but I think if you're going to eject one in that situation, eject them both.
Yeah, I knew the ejection was coming, and if Landis or Coach Hill wants to take it, whichever one wants to take it. But from my vantage point, basically they both were taking up for their teams, and you have to, in that case, when both of them come out of the dugout, it's pretty much ejection, right?
Yeah. I mean,
go ahead, Landis. I'll be the relief pitcher once you get done. Go ahead.
I feel like being the catcher, I think it was the second time he slammed his bat. I might be wrong, but there was something else he did in the innings before that. I'm pretty sure. And I didn't know you could back when I was playing, guys would do that and nothing would happen. I didn't think you could slam the bat like that anymore without getting ejected. Like, you can't just take the bat and sling it into the fence or something like that. But I feel like on his part, I feel like that was a bit excessive. Now I do feel like Duke was pretty chirpy, to be honest with you. So, and it's a in-state game, like that. It gets pretty tense, and overall, it's really good for the whole rivalry because it gets everybody fired up. Everybody remembers that. And but as a player, I feel like that dude was out of line on the walk. Like, that's kind of excessive. It's not like he hit a bomb in the trees, right? He didn't hit the walk off. It was a walk. You know, it was a good at bat, but it was just excessive, in my opinion. And what I think Coach Godwin was doing, he instead of his players talking, because a lot of times we would be on you for that. We would be on you for that. And instead of them getting tossed, he probably took took that one and said, "Go ahead down to first." You know, you're throwing bats and stuff, and you know Pollard took up for his guy on the other end, and both of them got tossed. So I think it made it a lot of fun to be honest with you. Both of them were fighting. It was kind of funny too, watching them leave the park because they got to get out of the park. So,
well, just the follow up. I agree with both coaches. I would have done both. If I was Cliff, same thing. I'm gonna go out there. We're on the road, as Landis said, and everybody said. It's a big rivalry. It's great for the fans. You want a clean game played. I get that. But at the same time, you expect that because of the vibe and the energy between those two teams or any in-state rivalry. And being on their home turf, I can tell you one thing, back in the day when I coached, if I had a coach come out there trying to take control on my turf, I would have done the same thing. I would have done the same thing. So, you know, and both of them getting ejected, I think that was the right call. But going back to the player, yeah, I thought it was automatic ejection if you slammed you know, anything like that.
Yeah.
And it was a base hit. It wasn't a grand slam.
No, it was a walk.
I mean, a walk. That's right. I'm sorry. So
that made it even worse for me. I mean, it wasn't a walk off like Landis said. That was my thoughts. It wasn't anything spectacular. You got wait for it, a walk.
Yeah,
right.
It's a good at bat.
A good call because the umpires got to take control of the game. You didn't want to get it out of hand because it was a good ball game going on. You know, intense, close rivalries. I thought, you know, I totally agree with both coaches defending their players and their team and representing. You know, you never want to start seeing the brawls and the cussing out there, which, you know, that's part of sports. But I thought it was handled well, considering it could have got out of hand.
Well, that's what I was getting ready to. That was my next question to all you guys is what I was worried about when I saw Cliff when he started running. I said, "Oh my gosh, are the two coaches going to get in a fight?" What is the maybe Justin Butts? He said that both had to go. Justin, what's the protocol if the two coaches get in a fight? Is it at least one game suspension, or how does that work in non-conference?
That's going to go beyond the umpires, Dave. That's going to go to the conference. You're going to have the American and the ACC both involved in both universities.
I know. I didn't know.
Be on the umpires.
No. I'm not talking about I know not the umpires. I'm talking about the afterstorm, the aftermath, if you will. What kind of?
Justin, I don't know that Justin will know that. I mean, that's not his. You know, you're talking about.
I don't know. You want to know about coaches fighting? I know it may not be baseball, but pick up the phone, ask Jawan Howard what it's like.
I mean, you could literally lose your job. I mean, if you want to. I mean, look, both Pollard and Godwin both were too professional to let that happen. But if you go out there and knock the shit out of somebody, yeah, you might get fired. Right. You know, so I mean, all kinds of things could happen beyond a one-game suspension.
Oh, he's saying, hold on a second. He's saying it's in the NCAA rule book. Justin is. Well, what's the rule there, Justin?
Yeah, but it's going to go beyond that. I mean, you may get charges, Dave. I mean, if one of the co-coaches went out there and just cold cocked the other one, he could leave in handcuffs. You know, it's assault. I mean,
just because we're on the diamond, you don't get treated differently.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Guys, another thing I wanted to mention that when we're talking about how things get a little salty and Duke had not, if you take Pollard, you got to give Pollard a lot of credit because they had not been to a regional since 1960 before Pollard, right? So 1960, he's taken them to 3 super regionals, very close to Omaha, I think at least one time off the top of my head. And, you know, I'm not trying to make fun of Duke here, but it was kind of like our rivalry was not much of a rivalry because ECU had won a lot of games in a row.
Oh, there was like 20 straight wins at one point.
It was crazy.
It was
and
insane.
Now it's 3 straight. Not happy about that, but it is what it is. And like you said, Coach, things like this, and I know Landis, you played and you coached. This is what it puts gasoline on the fire as far as the rivalry.
Yeah.
You know, you want to win that game next year.
Yeah. And coaches will go out there and get fired up for the team. So, you know, in the back, you know, I've seen coaches say at the end of the game, I'm about to get tossed. And they'll just go out there and start arguing. It fires the team up just to try to get that win. They'll say, I'm about to get tossed.
I was going to ask you, Coach, I was going to ask you that. Have you ever been tossed from a game?
Yes.
What
yes,
happened?
I have. Yep. At a lower level, I was at Cape Hatteras High School baseball coach. We were over here at the Easter tournament, and I was playing at the Aiden Grifton with Chris Ross, and we had a close call at third base, and I did a Cliff Godwin right there at third base, and I started coming out on the field, and he told me not to cross that line, and I obeyed. But I asked him to come over there to the line where I was. He walked over there, and I calmed down, and I kind of said subtly, I said, Blue, can I get thrown out for what I'm thinking? And he threw me out.
Wow.
That dude has no sense of humor. That's the only time you've ever been thrown out?
What's that?
That's the only time you've ever been ejected?
That's the only time I've been ejected. Yep.
What about Landis? What about you as a player or a coach?
I've never been thrown out of a game by an umpire as a player. Never.
I almost got thrown out of a football game as a fan in 2000. Hold on, let me get the year right. 2000. Hold on. When Skip Holtz was here, we were playing NC State in Greenville, and I got into a verbal altercation with one of the NC State players, and it got pretty heated. And security guard told me if I didn't calm down, I was going to have to leave.
Oh, I thought that was the time when you threw the car battery on the field.
That never happened, Dave.
Was it your own car or just a random battery?
Yeah, I carry car batteries into the stadium with me. It's just something I do.
That's pretty good. I've never heard that.
Just in case things get kind of testy, Kyle has that car battery ready.
That's heavy duty.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, you know, forget West Virginia where they throw AA batteries at football players. I got straight up car battery.
My gosh. How many cranking amps was that daggone battery?
Like 100 call cranking amps? I don't know.
Jeez, almighty.
Yeah.
Big time,
Kyle. Kyle gets nothing for the best. He takes ECU football seriously, man.
Yeah, I know. That's his bread and butter.
Think of a throw.
Kyle can throw him.
I don't know where the car battery thing came from. I have no idea.
Look, radio is theater of the mind. You know, I had to have something that's funny to say. I was trying, and they laughed. So I don't know.
I'm gonna get you a shirt that has "Die Hard."
You can take it several ways: batteries and
Never ready.
If we beat State at Quarter Finley, Kyle Barber will be the first to the field goal post.
No, if I was ever going to get after the A&T game, good God, if y'all could have seen me on the sidelines leaving that stadium after the A&T game, I am a wonder I didn't get arrested. That was the most embarrassing loss in any ECU sports history. But anyway, back to baseball. So you move on from Duke and Chris Pollard and Cliff Godwin this weekend. As we talked about earlier, we sweep Rice. You know, we start off Friday night with a pretty dominant performance. What do you guys think of the pitching performance Friday night?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, we're going to be just fine if you guys. I wanted to ask you all that, and I guess I can do a follow up here in a second. But as far as pitching goes, I think we're doing very, very well. It looks like things are getting better and better for the pitching. It just comes down to what I say every year with pitching. We've got to stay away from the injuries. It's the same thing every year for pitching. I think the talent is always there. We just have to make sure that whatever we can do to save those arms, guys. And I don't know if you guys can help me out on how you do that, but I know it's hard to say with each and every guy is different when it comes to pitching and how it affects them.
Go ahead.
What are we hearing on the return of Brett Antolik or Ryan Towers.
That I have not heard on that. I don't know.
I'm not sure about that either. What I was going to comment
Those
about
are two
today,
ones we get.
what you were talking about, the saving arms. You kind of you plan. I mean, Cliff and the coaching staff, they got it planned out. You know who's going to start.
Right.
You know, I mean that's your weekend starter and so on. But every game is so important, and if you have to piece a game together to get a win, whether it's midweek or a conference, you have to do that, and then you have to make your adjustments. But to save arms, that's a huge task as a coach. Um, you know, when I was an active coach, I know I work out with guys now and stuff, but I would tell them, I said, everybody's got to be ready. I mean, I may have him starting, but on a flip of a dime, I may have you starting because they got more lefties over in the lineup than I thought we were playing against. I mean, it changes, or the dynamics of the game by the third inning, it switched, or there's so many different factors. But as far as saving arms, the way we can save some arms throughout the week in the conference is to get our sticks going and score some runs and go ahead and get a big jump and save some of the veterans arms and get these young guys, not necessarily conference games, but games we can get them in a third of an inning. If they're doing well, let them go to 2 innings. Heck, he's rolling. Let's go 3 innings. That's how you can save arms.
What about you, Landis?
I think they're looking good. I'm looking at the numbers right now. Teams are hitting. Let's see here. So they're hitting 3. So the ERA is 3.81, and then they're hitting 224 against them. So 224 is pretty low. I mean, that's really good right there.
I'll take that. Yeah.
That's with us hitting 272, and I don't feel like jump the offense real quick. I don't feel like offensively it's good, but I think it's going to get better as the year goes and the warms up.
To go back to Friday night, guys, Norby had a great start. 7 innings, give up 2 runs, scatter 5 hits. You can't ask for much more than that from your starter. You only have to go in the bullpen for one guy to close things out. 42 wins. So a great, solid start by Norby, who's doing a good job in that Friday night spot. And you guys talk about getting the bats going and saving arms. That'd be ideal, but only scoring 4 runs Friday night and still only having to use two pitchers and your starter going 7. That's pretty solid.
Oh yeah,
Norby's pretty consistent. I mean, he every time you know what you're going to get with him. So as long as he stays healthy.
And I tell you what I like about Norby is I know that we were just talking about like emotion and the batter hitting the home plate and everything, but for me, when you see Norby and he gets a big at bat and he gets a strikeout, he gets an out, and he does that fist pump. Oh man, I tell you what, I just if I'm there at the game or if I'm watching at home like the away games this week, it just electrifies me. People talk. I want to get y'all's feeling on this too. It's amazing. People that don't know anything about baseball talk about how boring baseball is. But there is so much drama and so much excitement in the game. It's obvious they're ignorant on the game itself because it's a very exciting game to me.
Yeah, well, baseball's simple. If you're watching it as
Ethan Norby,
casual.
maybe the most.
Yeah, but I was going to elaborate on what Dave was saying. Baseball's a simple sport if you're watching as a casual fan, but then as Landis and Coach would know better than me. The nuances of it, the little things, shifts. Why are you bunting here? Why are you taking that pitch? Little things like that. It's very little nuances. It's a very complicated game.
Oh yeah.
We'll move on to Saturday night, guys. Pirates fall down 3-0 early, kind of behind the majority of the game and battle their way back. make it 3-2, and then 3-3. We're in extra innings. Hunter had came in, and then Jake comes up. The DH gets taken out. Some whatever. Of course, the actions happen. Jake has to bat and gets a nice single up the middle or whatever it was. It was a base hit, and then ends up scoring. Makes his way all the way around the base path, scores a run. Pirates go up 5-3, and then Jake comes out in the bottom of the 11th and shuts them down. Jake's performance just on the mound and at the plate. I mean, you can't have a much better night as a Pirate. And to come from behind like that on the road, it was a good performance by the whole baseball team, but particularly a special night for Jake Hunter.
I'm so happy I want to say this, guys, and not to jump in front of y'all, but I was so happy for Jake because Jake is a real Pirate. Jake is a guy that's had ups and downs and all arounds, and maybe Coach or Landis, y'all can talk about it as a player and a coach, but just really happy for him because he knows what he's doing. He's got so much talent. I think a lot of it is between his ears sometimes, and I know that's easier said than done to have the expectations to beat at East Carolina. But it was obviously that he's one of the older guys. He knows he has to step up. He stepped up in a huge way for that hit, and then he went 2 2/3 at 2.2 innings. And finish the deal. And I want to get your thoughts because I know there were Pirate fans that were talking about we had gone, I forgot how many innings in a row without a run. It was like 7, 8 innings. There was a lot between Friday night, if you count Friday night and last night. And so I just want to get your thoughts on that. Is that something to be concerned, or is it just simply in addition to that, how many teams have used 2 pitchers back-to-back 120 pitches? That's another thing that happened on Friday and Saturday night. So that could be part of it as well.
Well, I just lost my train of thought. I was getting ready to say something. Somebody was texting me about some questions up here, and I was listening to you. Regroup real quick for me. I was listening, but not listening.
We're not married, Paul. You have Stephanie.
I know.
That's called selective listening, selective hearing. No, I was just saying that basically with the way with the Pirate bats, we win a handful. I don't know how many innings. You guys maybe know 7, 8, a whole bunch of innings without a run. That was a concern. But I felt like another stat that I know Johnny Robertson, a lot of our great stats people on the show and fans and friends, they had 2 pitchers Friday night and Saturday night that went 120 pitches each. And so what I was thinking about when people were talking about, hey, what's going on that we don't have, the runs, I'm like, they have a Friday and Saturday night guys that are playing lights out, not making excuses. But you saw that today.
No, we won the games. I mean, bottom line is, whether we were, put up 10 runs in the game, it wasn't needed. We won the games. So you don't want the bats to go that cold, in between, but we got the hits when we needed them. So who really cares? If it becomes a consistent thing when we're going long periods of time without getting a hit, then it's something to be concerned about. But it didn't hurt us this weekend. But you
don't want dry spells. I mean, that's true. But as long as you got one more run than the other guy, it's the same W in the book, whether you win by 30 runs or 1 run. So,
right. And guys, we have a lot of people commenting tonight, but I want to get to one in particular, and that's Johnny Robertson. What's up, Johnny Stats? He says Saturday's return of Riley Johnson has to be the biggest story of the week. He will give the offense a big boost going forward, regardless of what he did this weekend at the plate.
Yeah, Riley, preseason All-American. A lot of expectations of getting him back on the field is huge. He got his first taste of action this weekend and, working back in slowly, I'm sure. But once he gets to be an not an everyday starter, but an every game starter, then, back to form, he'll definitely be a big help at the plate.
Yeah. I feel like the Braden Burris, the walk-on from Snow Hill. Yeah. I mean, he's hitting 403. I mean, he's absolute dynamite right now. Like, I mean, he's a legit walk-on. Like, I think the way he's playing and just defensively stealing bags. I mean, he's gonna make mistakes here and there, but 403 and you're 27 games in the season in Division One, and you're 18 years old and you weren't even. I don't know if he was recruited, but he's on the team from a walk-on standpoint, and the 2-run bomb against Duke in a big-time situation. I mean, that guy, they found that guy out of nowhere. I don't know if he had other offers and wanted to play at ECU, but I think he's
Green County boy like Cliff. I'm sure he had offers. You know how it is, Landis, with scholarships in college baseball.
Yeah.
You know, if you, East Carolina may have been where he wanted to go, and so he just walked on. He'll be on scholarship before long, though.
Right.
Yeah, it could be a situation like we have with football guys, where at college, and Landis a coach with, you come in your freshman year and you're a walk-on. We know you're going to do well, and if you keep playing like you're playing, we cannot make no promises. But I sound like a coach, don't I? But we can't make any promises. But if you continue to do well,
you're batting 402. Yeah, you can pretty much make that promise. So you're going to get on scholarship.
Well, and that's Riley Johnson really well. It'd be interesting to have them two going, because then he'll be even more protected. Because what are they going to do? Pitch to the guy hitting 403?
Yeah.
So
And Coach, you talked about a great point that Cliff has done too. Is when we were talking about who to start with the starting lineup and who do you have leading off, and you made the great point of you could put a Riley Johnson at 9 and him at 1.
Correct.
So then you think, oh my goodness, I get a break at number 9. And you can look up and down this lineup, and I know things aren't the way we want them. The guys are still getting experience. We're halfway through the season. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. But you look at these guys and you go, wow, okay, I can take a break at number 7. No. Number 8, no. And don't even think about taking a break if that's the case with Riley. I'm not saying that I know anything. Cliff has done that before. Coach, you talked about that in previous episodes. So for me, I like y'all's strategy. They think that we're taking that guy's not very good at number 9 when Riley Johnson's very good. You put Burris at number 9 and Riley.
Let me say a couple things, and then we'll go with Landis. Landis can hit on that.
No pun intended.
He did a DH role, but if you got two guys that are so equal, back in the day, I would literally flip a coin. I said, okay, heads, you lead off, tails, or we would just flip flop if they were that good. Now, and if they were a good bunters, in a number 2 slot or something, but most of the time, if they had speed and they could hit, I had a young man, Jared Phillips, down in South Carolina that was being looked at big time by Billy Best, and we were playing a team that didn't know too much about us, and I put him at number 9 slot and put Mark Novario. He went to Citadel at number 1, and he had been batting 9. And he says, Coach, what did I do wrong? I said, man, you hadn't done anything wrong. You're going to get more fastballs at number 9. He hit 2 home runs that game from a Tennessee team that came in. And I said, he just sat on the home runs. And then Jack Leggett came and was looking at him the next weekend at our ball games down in Pattersville, South Carolina, near Erskine College, I think. But that 9-1, there's not much difference except for a 9 and a 1 in front of your, where you're batting at.
Yeah, no doubt. Everybody, I think, makes a big deal out of where you are in the order 1, 2, 3, 4. But
you're in the lineup.
Exactly. And, Cliff will play with the lineup some, move guys around. But we had finished up on Saturday. Great performance by Jake. 5 strikeouts in 2 innings, or just a little better than 2 innings, plus the hit and scored from the hit. So great night by him. And then we move into today's game, guys, and didn't have to come back today. Pirates kind of dominated the whole game. Rice would chip away, and the Pirates would just kind of extend it again. Rice would chip away, the Pirates would extend it again, and it just kind of, we just kept a breathable lead throughout the whole game without ever truly putting it away, but never felt like the game was in jeopardy either at all.
Yeah. And it seems like the past 2 Sundays it's been like that. Like on the Sunday games, they kind of pull away because usually a Sunday game is kind of, we call it like everybody's going to be hitting because you've had 2 days of seeing pitches. You don't see, the bullpens are kind of, it's usually a high scoring game. So that's good to know that their Sunday guys are still keeping them without scoring a lot. That's tough to do a lot of times on the Sunday game. But
right.
Agree. They were in control the whole game.
Well, Landis made a good point there. You've seen Bryce 2 games, and you go, as a coach, hey, great game, 2-0. Sunday, everybody's got to be ready, and I may stick you out there, as well as the pitching. If you have burned a pitcher, 120 pitches or 130, whatever, whatever their stats are and stuff. I mean, their rules on the team that they abide by, whatever. The pitching staff, you just piece it together on Sunday, like you said, Landis, with hitting. You do what you got to do because you've got a couple days rest before you midweek game. So, but they played good. I mean, this past weekend looked real well, and 6-0 in the conference is awesome.
You got to find a way to win. It doesn't matter how you do it, like we talked about. You got to find a way. Teams that find a way to win, obviously, are the ones that can go through the postseason. Because
absolutely,
and I think starting off the year against, I might be jumping the gun here, but starting off the year against Carolina, number 6 team, there's not a big difference between number 6 team in the country, number 1 team in the country. I think that kind of will take you right back down to earth on a lot of stuff. So I feel like the teams that get put in every single situation throughout the year and can kind of rise above it with adversity, I think they're the ones that have the best chance when it really, really matters. So, yeah,
guys, we've struggled midweek, particularly on the mound. We got 2 midweek games this week, Wilmington and Elon. How do you handle your pitching? You want to win midweek. You want to win them both. You at least want to go 1-1, but you don't want to blow pitching for the weekend. Very important series against Florida Atlantic and Greenville in conference play. So, what do you do? Do you just throw your normal midweek guy one night, and then Johnny Holstaff at the next, or how do you handle this when you don't have great midweek pitching, and suddenly you have 2 midweek games? Which I need to look on the schedule to see how often we have 2 midweek games the rest of the way. We haven't had very many so far this year. VCU comes to mind. But how do you handle that when your midweek pitching is struggling with 2 midweek games instead of 1?
Well, normally, what I would do, with your pitchers, you got that situation. You can almost use it as getting ready for the weekend or the conference games. So maybe pitch 1 or 2 innings here, get them a good work. It's no different than working the bullpen, beginning of the week or midweek, cranking up ready for the weekend. Just watch the pitch count and then throw another guy and kind of piece those together with some of your veterans, but at the same time, mix in some guys that need some work to get out there and show them what they can do. And all those guys that have not pitched a lot of innings, they're on the team for some reason. So give them a chance, get them out there, throw them an inning or 2, or if they have a great inning, give them another inning. And that's how I used to do it. Hey, you get through this inning with, not too much damage and we're rooting for you, brother. I'd like to see you throw 7, or 5. But that's how you kind of do that. But your focus still, we're 6-0 in conference. We want to keep that going. That's huge.
Yep.
But again, we go back to those mid games and a lot of hype about in-state rivalries and winning those games. And those games are important. Every win, means something for the season.
Let's, guys, while we have a moment, let's get some questions and comments. In fact, Kyle, you'll know this person. Stevie Fly says, "What's up?" And he says, "What's up, Kyle? Just finished some great pizza."
Stevie, I have no idea why you're telling me you ate pizza. Is it because I ate pizza also? I don't know. I didn't remember texting you that I ate pizza. I don't know, but I've had pizza the last few nights. I don't know. This has to be something related to that. I'm glad you enjoyed your pizza, Stevie. Oh shit! I just got why he told me that. Never mind. I just totally got why he told me that. Okay. Well played, Stevie. Well played. It's slow on my part. Well played, sir.
Oh, by the way, sidebar really fast. Stevie is a huge, and I mean huge, Kiss fan. And so you had Gene Simmons who cancels his solo North American tour, and all of a sudden now the band that has retired a number of times, Kiss, is going to be back on tour after they just finished.
I hope everybody is happy that ordered their pay-per-view from Madison Square Garden for their final concert. But you know, Stevie's a huge Kiss fan, so I'm sure he's glad to see him back on tour again. And Stevie, for people who have listened to the podcast over the years, has done. Me and Stevie used to do a show a couple years ago called Just Another Sports Podcast with Kyle and Stevie. He was the head coach of Northeast Academy for football up in beautiful Lasker, North Carolina. And yeah, exactly. And so Virginia, basically. So Stevie's a good dude.
All right, and let's see. We have Will. Will says, "Great job getting it done this weekend. Hard to sweep anybody on the road in college baseball." Amen to that. By the way, we were talking about the last pitcher. We were wrong, Kyle. The last pitcher that got a hit in a game.
Yeah.
It was Ben Is it Twilliger? I remember I had a hard time when he was here.
Ben
April
Twilliger.
3rd, 2022 at Cincinnati. So it wasn't as long.
No, he was right. He called him Benny T. So he was correct at Cincinnati. He just did not. Yeah, he apparently did not know how to say that last name. So,
me. Let's see. Justin Butt says, "Looking forward to 11 games and 9 days."
Yeah. You can really get the hitting going with that too.
Coaches did the right. Stevie said coaches did the right thing. Umps handle coaches well, but although I've been talking all night, he should have been dealt with. We were talking about the ejections.
Yeah,
that's the kid, right?
Let's see. I'll keep going here. Hold on a second. I got a couple more for you. All right. Here's Kyle. Here's a man of love, and he's an alum of the Sports Objective. Brennan Shapiro. He said, "How we felt about the team this year." What's up, Brennan? Miss you, buddy. Happy all is going well for you. Looks like I feel like we have a ton of potential, but our lack of experience hurts us sometimes. Still 6-0 in conference, though. Happy about that.
I'm proud of Brennan. His girl's pretty hot. So good job, Brennan. Well, my boy there. I raised him well. But Shapiro, what did he ask? I wouldn't even. I hadn't talked to Brennan in a while. I need to hit him up. Ask that again.
He's talking about our inexperience. Is that?
I mean, we're getting. I mean, we're getting. Guys, you talk about our inexperience and how we're getting better.
Hey, we're midway through the season. There's no freshman now. You're not a freshman. you're getting ready to be a sophomore. So it's kind of, the guys have been playing quite a bit in the lineup and stuff as a freshman, and guys that hadn't played in the past are in the lineup. The inexperience, it still shows at times. I agree with that. But they're figuring out ways, as Landis said earlier, how to win. And if you can do that and continue to do that, and we've said it at the beginning of the season, when things were, little rough waters there, but we kept sailing, and here we are now, 6-0 in the conference, and midway with 18 wins. So they're going to be okay. They're going to find what. And I think we're going to creep up on some people and have a sweep, like 6-0 a week, 5. I really do. They're piecing it together. It's looking good. I mean, it is.
All right, we got a few more comments.
I think the problem is self-made. Expectations are very high because of the success we've had, and I think had we taken that series from Coastal when we lost in extra innings. I think that would put a better taste in people's mouths. I think if we'd have got a midweek game, if we would have taken one against Carolina, if we'd have got a midweek game, against Wilmington or Duke or somebody so far, and I think that's what it is. If you get Wilmington this week, if we go 2-0 midweek, and at least take 2 out of 3 this weekend, go 5-0 this week, people will be real happy. But and this is a week we could do it. Wilmington ain't a world beater. We got a midweek. It's in Wilmington. We come home, we get Elon in Greenville, and then we got Fort Atlantic in Greenville. So this is a week we could go 5-0, and at some point you'll get NC State in Greenville, and we'll get a W, and everybody will be happy. But if we keep doing what we do in conference, we're going to put ourselves in position to win the regular season title.
Yes.
Which, is going to secure you, or should secure you, with our history, regardless of what our RPI is, a spot in the conference tournament. So, or the conference tournament, hell, the NCAA tournament.
Right.
So, that's the goal: win the conference regular season, and we're 6-0, so we're off to a good start.
And the other thing that people look, here's the thing for me. You remember, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago? We start off slow, and then all of a sudden we rattled off like 21 in a row. I don't think that'll happen.
It was 23 in a row. It was 23 in a row.
Yeah.
Everybody made a big deal out about it being 23 in a row.
Yeah, that's right. 23. Of course, Coach Keith LeClaire being 23, now Coach Godwin 23. But anything is possible. Everybody was talking about we may not even not only go to a regional, we may not make a region. It was just like so much drama, and we turned it around. So that's a nice segue for me. Let me get to a few of these comments real quick, guys, because we have a lot of people chiming in. Johnny JR, this is the first time. How about this, guys? The first time since 2019 that the Pirates have swept their first conference road series. Last season, the Pirates were 6-6 on the road in the AAC. How about that?
Interesting stat. That is an interesting stat.
That's a great stat. Yeah.
All right, and then
Johnny, get Johnny up here one night with us. Johnny, great contributor, statistics. Johnny is a statistics junkie in all sports, and football, baseball, basketball, and the made-up sport of baseball. Yeah. Am I still sounding like an idiot? The correct response would have been, "Well, you're talking," but anyway, the point was to compliment JR, not to put me down. Johnny's a very knowledgeable fellow who needs to come up here one night and be a special guest contributor on the Sports Object. He always contributes in the comments, but need to let Johnny get up here and talk.
That would be great. That would be a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. Johnny says, shout out to Colby Wallace, who had an extra base hit and all 3 Rice games, in addition to having 2 solid pitching appearances. Amen to that. 2-way player, and glad to have him aboard, no doubt. Let's see. Sorry about that. The comments moved on me. Apologize. Here we go. Craig, what's up, Craig in Richmond? Side note, just saw one of the worst turnovers ever in college hockey that led to a 1-on-1 goal for Boston College. Great game if you are a hockey fan. It's on ESPN2, but you should be watching the Sports Objective. What the heck? I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, Craig. I'm giving you a hard time. Craig says we swept the weekend.
Don't give Doucette a whole time. Damn it. Woo, boy. Dave, don't give Craig a hard time. He knows people.
Yeah, I know his former employer. So, okay. Let's see. We swept the weekend. Not much to say about ECU. Gritty performance and a sweep. And Johnny says Rice is going to beat some good teams before the season's over. Craig says we swept weekend with some gritty play. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I don't know why that's doing that to me. Side note 2, what is over under on MLB banning the Yankees' new bats? I'll have to check into that. You guys know anything about that?
Yeah, so the Yankees hit like 6 home runs in the first inning or so yesterday. And
I'm going to predict that the bats are banned by the end of April.
Yeah.
Do you think it's any pine tar on their coach?
No, they hired a guy from MIT to now they put all of the majority of the wood towards the handle more because guys are hitting the ball there more, and they're just hitting bombs left and right with it. It's called torpedo.
Oh, I did not know about that. Well, okay, I finally.
Do you think they'll be banned, Landis, Coach? I think they will be.
I hope not. But I guess it's going to go off the rule book unless they just all of a sudden make a rule. I don't know exactly what the rule is for a bat, to be honest. So,
yeah,
I assume that they already know the rule, right, Coach? Like they should already know the rule when they made the bat.
They should know it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know all the major league rules of bats and hitting, but if it's in place, you know about it. Kyle, like you said, they'll do something. If it's a gray area, here you go again, making rules up as throughout the season. And my philosophy is I don't care what kind of bat you've got, you still got to hit the baseball in order for it to go out of the ballpark.
Exactly.
So,
and the bats aren't the same back when Babe Ruth was playing. They were using different bats. I mean,
correct. I mean, they use everything.
I guess my question would be, all right, so there probably is standards, weights, whatever the
Yes.
bats have to be. And if an MIT tech designed them, they probably went within those standards and just designed the bat a certain way within those standards to make it most effective. So I guess, you're saying guys are hitting the ball lower now, closer to the handle. Do you pitch them different when you play the Yankees? Is those bats at some point going to start losing their advantage because that's what they're going for? So you start pitching the Yankees different, or I'm assuming everybody's got contracts with their bat maker, or I would say, well, every damn body could just switch to those bats. But if there is a contract, then I don't guess that's the case.
Yeah.
Well, Stevie said today they said they were legal, but I guess other teams will be complaining. And how much is this? Let me ask you this, guys. How much is this? And I'm just going to be honest. How much of this is because they're the Yankees and people are biased because they win they win all the time. They win a lot of games. They have some down years, but the guys they have on the team, Aaron Judge, a lot of those guys are likable guys. I know it's pinstripes, so we may have some bias towards the Yankees, because they have a million World Series wins. But for me personally, I like what you said, Coach. If you give me that bat, I'm not going to be able to hit a home run. I'm just saying.
I have parents all the time say, well, Coach, what's the best bat? I said, the best bat you can buy is the one he can swing and put the bat on the ball, whether you spend $30 or $400. And that's a fact. I mean, so it still takes an effort and a talent to hit that ball to knock it out of the ballpark. Now, granted, some woods, and Landis can hit on this, are more durable and a lot better. And I throw BP to Landis at least 2 or 3 times a week over in Winterville when I'm out there working out with the guys and stuff. And actually, one of the players, I think we got on a segment about that, and he was telling them what his favorite wood bat, was made out of and stuff. So Landis hit on that a little bit.
No
yeah,
problem.
so it's about the grains in the bat, right? So you have a major league wood and you have others. So in the minors and stuff, we couldn't. If you got your hands on the major league wood, you're lucky. But the wider the grain, the better. And the harder the wood, the better. So maple was obviously very good. Like an ash bat would be the cheapest. Something soft. But with the bats, with the Yankees, I think it is the fact they hit like 6 home runs in a row. That's never been done before. Like they literally were just crushing the ball. I think Judge hit 4 home runs in 2 days. Now I don't know if Judge is using the bat. I don't know if he's using it. I know Jazz Chisholm or the lefty. I know he is, but I don't know. I mean, they're not going to stop somebody from throwing a pitcher. You know what I'm saying? What if a guy comes up with a pitch that does something different? Like, are they going to? So the game's evolving. I think skill-wise, I'm not agree with all the umpire stuff changing. But.
You wait until you get AI in this stuff.
Yeah,
it's coming.
AI umpires.
AI. the AI how to pitch, hold a pressure points, two-seam fastball, and get a little bit more
I hope
dynamic.
they're doing ECU because I don't know what the fans are going to yell at if they got the AI.
I would just yell at the AI umpire.
They'll yell at each other.
You'll have a fake blue behind the plate, and you can pick up a certain bat and wallop them in the knee or something.
Yeah. Well, will you get thrown out if you throw something at the ump that
Yeah, umpire.
Yeah, right.
Hag the umpire.
Oh my
I don't
gosh.
know. It's probably coming at some point.
Justice says, don't be hating at the umpires. we actually aren't. We're actually, Justin, we're actually taking up for you guys. We don't want this computer mess.
No.
I mean, think about Billy Martin. Billy Martin, back in the day, speaking of the Yankees, used to kick dirt. He used to give a good show. Can you imagine that? How stupid you would look now if you run out and argue with a robot or AI umpire?
It's just staring at you. It's not even arguing.
It's not going to argue with.
It doesn't make any gestures. It just looks at you. I mean, I wouldn't know what to come back with. Like,
do you body? I mean, what do you do? Body slam it? Pick it up and body slam it?
At that point, I probably would.
Throw water on it if it's AI.
Oh God, yeah. Wow.
Or just throw water.
Yeah.
And if you want to go with orange Gatorade, I mean, that may get a little bit more sparked or something.
Exactly. Short circuit it.
Throw Gatorade at it.
Worst case, I mean, you could give it some Major League Wood.
It's the best one.
Swing the bat, hit him in the hit him. Just take one of those bats out there and just whack him.
Yeah.
I got it, Kyle.
Yeah.
You can bring your battery and cables and hook it up.
There you go. There you go. You just electrocute the son of a bitch. That may give him more power. You know, if you hook the battery up to the ARA, he may become super umpire.
Yeah.
Well, Kyle is a diehard, as you said earlier, Coach.
That's it.
That's right.
That was classic Coach right there. I love. It's just something that I made up. I was trying to embellish the story. I was trying to help Kyle make it sound good. I had no idea where he was going with that story.
Oh, it stuck.
That's true. It's true.
We ought to take a picture or a video of you with that battery. Just get a battery. I've got a battery I can give you, Kyle, and you can just walk around.
Car battery. Just take a video. I mean, okay. I mean, only the people that were, the backstage will get the joke, but I don't even think that was during the show. But all right, well, that'll be my new gimmick. I'll be Kyle the car battery barber.
When we beat NC State, everybody's gonna take a car battery and just throw it on the field.
You started something. You'll see batteries flying on the field. We're gonna be in trouble.
If anybody manages to sneak a car battery into Carter Finley on August 28th or whatever the hell the date of the game is, Thursday night, yeah, y'all, more power to you. Battery power.
Stevie says we might get a sponsorship out of this. Yeah, we need to get Diehard or some battery, maybe a car part.
How about O'Reilly's? Can we get O'Reilly's? O'Reilly's. I collect the M2 diecast. A lot of good M2 exclusives at O'Reilly's.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
No doubt.
Oh my God. He says Greg said, is that why Kyle developed a stutter tonight and you got shot by the battery?
When did I develop a stutter? I don't know.
The statistics.
Earlier when you got tongue-tied.
Okay, oh, well, I don't.
We got tongue-tied.
I'm not on my game tonight, Craig. I'm not on my game tonight.
But watch out, Dusty Rhodes is going to be coming on here.
Hey, Stevie's still watching. Craig lives by you in Fredericksburg, so you guys can hang out.
Stevie's
so damn far north. Stevie is so far north in North Carolina. I pick on him and say he's in Virginia. So, so there you go. That's that inside joke.
He cannot touch the Virginia line, but he's a lot closer than we are.
He's basically touching it. I mean, it's pretty damn. It's there. He's just got stretched a little bit.
Oh my God. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's another one for you from Craig. He says Kyle's going to show up in the next game in an Interstate Battery jacket. Well, if they need to sponsor us, Craig, we're not wearing anything. We're not wearing any kind of sponsorship.
No, an old Bobby Labonte Interstate Battery jacket.
Yeah, exactly. We are
neon
not
green.
We're not going to help anybody out unless they pay Kyle. And he needs some NIL money, baby.
Right.
I'm standing up for Kyle right now, my buddy. He's going to have some NIL money, or if not, he's going to transfer somewhere else. He's going to be in the transfer portal. We might. We already lost one on the show. Now we might as well. I mean, with no NIL, so I don't know.
Boneyard Podcast. If you're watching, here's your opportunity.
That's right.
You can have some talent on your show for a change.
Stevie says you'll have me in D.C. before long. Well, we're hoping that you're commissioner. We're hoping you're going to run for Congress. For sure, you can't.
He's going to take his political career from county commissioner of Northampton County to
town commissioner at Lasker.
Is he okay? I was giving him too much credit. I was giving him all of Northampton County. He's just Lasker. Okay, he is the Andy Taylor of Lasker, North Carolina. There's no doubt about that.
All right, and Johnny Robertson says Kyle is a diehard fan.
All right, good job, Johnny. Good job. Stick to stats, my friend. Leave the comment.
That's great.
Greg says Kyle, Ricky Battery Barber.
Ricky Battery. That's pretty good, actually. There, Greg.
If you're not first, you're last.
Oh
my God,
that's pretty good. And all hyped up on Mountain Dew.
There you go. Oh my God. I'm trying to get it together. So, with you guys,
I'll kick your ass
with the battery. So we're halfway through the season officially now. We've had the first half. Obviously, we've got the second half. As Coach Godwin always talks about, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Just want to get your thoughts on the first half of the season and maybe a prediction on the second half of the season. I know it's a little early, but what do you think is going to happen the second half of the year? Who wants to start?
As I said, beginning of the season, I was kind of going with what we're seeing right now. A little bit more smooth ride and smooth waters. We had, a little rough start at the beginning, but I think as players and coaches and the fans got to realize they learned a lot during that time to this point, halfway. And we're always putting on, the 40 wins. Well, another half is 36 wins. We're 4 shy, but a lot of those games could have gone either way. So, let's stop focusing on the 40 wins. That's important. Don't get me wrong. I want 45 wins. But the conference is looking very promising. Pick up, a cheap win here and there when you can, and just keep pounding this conference the way they're doing it. Good things will happen.
Where does anybody bother to look? It really doesn't matter at this point, but just out of curiosity, where are we at on Warren Nolan on the RPIs? Does anybody look? If nobody's looked, you keep talking and I'll look.
Yeah,
guys, this is tricky. That thing. I will be honest. I do like stats like Johnny as far as looking things up, but the RPI drives me absolutely insane. If that was the only stat, I would never look at stats ever, because we're up and down like a roller coaster all around. 1 minute I'm happy, the next minute, wait a minute, what happened? I don't know. It drives me nuts to look. If I looked at that like day trading, I would probably not be in sports anymore.
Landis made a good point earlier in the show. When we played Carolina, they were ranked. What were they ranked?
6.
6. That's not much difference. Number one.
Right.
The rankings. I've got mixed feelings about that. I just kind of put them to the side.
Yeah.
Because on any given time, somebody can beat somebody.
Yeah, RPI is currently 82, which is very, low bar standards. FAU is 80, actually. Did not look at Wilmington and Elon, but hopefully have a chance to move up in RPI. You want it. If we keep winning, it'll take care of itself, honestly.
Exactly.
But it's interesting to watch because you want it to be in the top 25. We're a long way from that. I don't that's achievable, but we're gonna have to win a lot of games.
Those RPIs are more or less built in when they're selecting teams. They got a little buffer there to go right to the left. That's it.
Yeah, no doubt. But so just keep winning. The RPI will climb. And like I mentioned last week, conference is doing a little better in RPI this year than in recent years, and we actually maybe need that this year unless we start lighting it up midweek. So got a chance to help ourselves. Like this weekend, FAU is currently slightly above us in RPI.
Yeah, I feel like the next half of the regular season, just looking at, and again, you shouldn't take it easier. You should turn it up on everybody, no matter who you're playing. But it seems like the next half is an easier schedule than the first half. So you get out of the first half of the regular season, 18-10. You lose 3 to the number 6 team in the country. You lose 2 to the number 24 team in the country that's won a national champion. I mean, their Coastal's always in it. That's 5 losses right there. That if you didn't play somebody that good, that probably would have gone the other way. So I feel like they should, keep the foot to the gas, but I feel like they should have a good rest of the half. And then I always think the postseason is like a whole nother season. So I feel like they're going to have a good rest of the regular season.
I agree. That's one of the things I was going to mention, guys, is the fact that non-conference Cliff does on purpose because you don't know who you're going to be playing in conference, but you don't know how necessarily how good or bad they're going to be. And so, but about the non-conference, you can control more of that, playing tougher teams. You got to give credit to Coach Godwin, who always says, anytime, any place, anywhere, if it's a grocery store parking lot, that's the way, the mentality that Pirates we should have. And I think when you have a great team and you're winning a lot, and when people make mistakes, it's not as big, but I think it's magnified big time because of what Kyle was saying earlier about our expectations. When, I was looking at today, no errors today, I'm not seeing one of the things that Coach and Landis, y'all can touch on, Kyle, as well. One of the things I'm happy on is the mistakes they're making. You don't see as many mistakes, or they're not making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And that shows me that they're maturing. There's been bright spots all throughout the season, this first half. And it's really about, Coach, you and I have talked about it for several times now. It's about consistency. And that's just because of the inexperience. And the only way to fix the inexperience is to get experience.
Get them out there.
You can't learn if you're not on the field. Game time stuff. You can be practicing, you can be screaming, batting practice, pitching. But until you get in that moment, like we're talking about the Duke game, those tense. When I see, let me just say this too. When I see the Carolina series, when I see the Wilmington, even some of these in-state games, to me, our in-state games teams are so good. It's like playing a regional kind of game in midweek. So I have a different perspective on. Yes, we want to win them, and the reason we're mad is because they're games that are in-state. And it's a pride thing. But when you look at it, like you guys said, a lot of those losses are to really good teams they're going to help our RPI in the long run.
That's very true. Playing a tough schedule at the beginning, like Landis was mentioning, kind of helps you out, down because you don't know what to expect in conference down the road and stuff. But again, we're halfway, as he brought up earlier. 5 of those wins, you're sitting at 23 and 13. A little bit different. A lot of those losses could have been wins, but the most important game is the next game. Focusing on that game, then the next game, then the conference. You got to kind of plan ahead, with your pitching and stuff. But again, just trying to pick up win the games you're supposed to win and pick up some that you're not supposed to win along the way. And we'll be, if not 40 games, and doing well in the conference. So I think, again, we just got to be patient and let these guys keep maturing. And the ones that hadn't had a lot of playing time, get them out there and see what they can do. When you can do that, you just can't stick them out there all the time. But the opportunity exists. See what they can do, and be surprised. A lot of time, I know I have through the years.
I want to ask you guys, as far as the pitch clock, I know we've already had to deal with it, and it's not something new. But from a pitcher's perspective and a catcher's perspective, I know you guys didn't play in that era, that time. But does that make you throw? In other words, you have less time to think about the pitch. Does that help you or hurt you?
I would imagine they're getting used to it.
It just seems like it's so fast. I don't know.
Well, you kind of get used to it. The guys that work quickly, which catchers, Landis, he likes guys that work quick, because the guys that moped around and adjusted the hat and stuff, they're sitting back there like, man, just get on the toe of the rubber, get the signal, and pitch me the daggum ball so we can get through this. Because he may have 130 pitches. He's got to do that. Multiply that times a minute sometimes. That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
So just have to get used to it.
Coach, I got a question for you as we start to wrap this up. This baseball related, it's kind of a fun question. But being you're in that age range, I think the answer is going to be yes. I could be surprised that it might be no. Growing up in the 80s, and you were playing ball, in the 80s and 90s. Everybody in the big leagues chewed tobacco. You saw with the Levi Garrett or the Red Man. We all, and then as kids, back then we all had big league chew. Did you ever chew tobacco?
Well, the answer is I dipped hawking.
Dipped. Okay, you were going dip back in the day. Even you never did the pouch tobacco in the 80s.
Hold on, I hadn't finished yet.
All right.
No, I did hawking, and a buddy of mine, Jackie Conway, he was my catcher coming through high school in Legion. He said, "Man, come on, try this Skull in Copenhagen." It about put me on the ground. So
still dipping.
Yep, I said, I got some candy. It's called hawking. You might like it because you can't handle the big boy stuff. So I tried it, and it about burnt my lip off. So I got done with that. But this great guy right here, bless his soul, he meant so much to me, Coach Tony Guzzo. I met him for the first time at East Carolina. I was 16 years old, trying out for the Kansas City Royals over at the ECU baseball field, and he came up to me. He had a chaw about the size of a baseball and had a red face. And he said, "Son," he said, "what's your name?" I said, "Paul." He said, "Where you go to school?" I said, D.H. Conley. He says, "Oh, yeah, I know who you are." And he said, "Hold on 1 second. I got to do something." He took the old out, and this is a true story. I mean, he chewed bubble gum, asked if I wanted some bubble gum. He also asked if I wanted to chew. That was a trick question. I said, "No, I don't need any." But I was chewing my gum. He chewed like 4 pieces. He opened it up. He got a wad. I'm not kidding you, about the size of a tennis ball. Put it around there, stuck it in it. He fit it.
Chewing gum or chewing tobacco?
Both.
Chewing tobacco inside gum. That's how he chewed his tobacco.
Wait a minute. Say what now?
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
I didn't know that.
He took chewing tobacco like Red Man and put it inside chewing gum?
He would make a casing of chewing gum and then put the tobacco inside and wrap it. It would be the gum on the outside and put it inside his jaw.
That does not sound good at all.
But I tell you what, one of the finest people, coaches ever. Bless his soul. He passed away. He meant a lot, not just to me, but all the baseball.
But
greats.
by the way,
I'm just
Thank
trying
you,
to figure
JR.
I'm just trying to figure that out in my head.
Hey, Kyle, if you'll bring your batteries over to my house, I'll demonstrate for you.
Okay, I'll bring some chewing tobacco too and some gum.
Hey, and bring a pizza too, please.
All right, I got you.
Johnny Roberts.
I'll stop by Luna before I go to your house.
Johnny said that's called a Skipper's Delight, gum and tobacco. I've never heard that.
Tobacco, gum, yes, separately, but never together. I've never heard of that.
He said, Craig said, wasn't that such an easier time? High school, Legion Ball, and county all-star teams. That was it. You played your rival schools and knew everybody. I don't think I would have liked travel ball as it is today.
He's got a good point there. He's got a great point.
How about this? Johnny says, Kyle, he's done it many times. The Skipper's Delight, gum and tobacco.
It is.
I've never heard of that in my life. That's so strange.
He said, I'd rather chew and gum. It's not bad. Justin, come on. I thought, you know how bad this is? Kyle and I usually disagree on this show, like a political show. And
it's going to be, it's going to be sweet. I mean, I'm assuming they're talking about regular bubble gum flavor but chewing tobacco itself, like Red Man, Levi Garrett, is sweet, molasses-like, and you spit the juice, and that's where you spit way more than you do with dip. And I don't swallow, I spit. I don't know about you, Coach.
Landis, say, wait a minute now. This is a family-friendly show. Wait a minute now.
So, but you spit way more when you chew than when you dip. So
ask Landis if he chew and spit between his mask and the catching or something.
Oh, Landis, you got a story?
Just let it dribble down your mouth. Nah. I think they started using the bubble gum when they started outlawing it, where you couldn't do it on TV. So they took the Big League Chew and used it to cover, and then just kind of, I guess.
Wait a minute! I got another. Here you go, Coach and Landis and Kyle.
Landis probably did a lot of sunflower seeds, hasn't you?
You can roll the gum in Skull or Copenhagen if you're hardcore.
That's pretty intense.
Well, now you're talking about dip. Now but the gum. I mean, I'm just thinking about spitting with the gum in your mouth. It seems like it would be a problem.
Actually, it's very easy.
Yeah. Well, I got just
never. The funny thing is, I learned about car batteries.
Who said it's very easy?
Pizza. And now that you can put gum and tobacco together, I've never heard.
Look, I got a pack of America's Best, aka Red Man, on the kitchen table. I'm gonna go grab that and some of my wife's gum and go to town and see how it goes.
Yeah, let's try it out.
Good luck.
Hey, Kyle. You know what you need to do? Do a YouTube video, and we'll put it up on our YouTube.
Oh,
video.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna get
demonstrate it, or can one of you guys, Landis or Coach, can y'all do it and show Kyle how to do it?
We need to do that. We need to do that.
A tutorial.
We got to make sure we get the right tobacco and the gum. We may get sponsorships with that. And Die Hard and Everett, we're on to something right here.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Oh, absolutely. We sure
are. And what pizza, Stevie? If you're still with us,
I have you guys. You guys live over. Dave, you work in Greenwood. You guys live more in the Greenville area. I'm out towards LaGrange, Goldsboro, Kinston area. I've heard good things about Luna Pizza Kitchen. Have any of you guys tried that?
I've heard of it. I've never been there.
Coach, you've tried it a few times.
How is it?
What, Luna's? Luna's good. Yeah.
Landis. Okay, Landis is the one that said it. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Landis, I got an idea. Dave, we're getting way off the stuff, but it's funny. Dave's getting one of the puppies from us, and his name, her name's going to be Baby Ruth.
What kind of puppy?
Yeah, why don't you, Landis, instead of peanuts, put some pecans in there? Why don't you call the company?
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, what kind of puppy is it? Did I hear you said puppy, right?
It's a silver doodle.
A silver doodle. I took one of those before.
Yeah, we were going to wait till next week, but Coach is breaking news.
I had to do that.
All right, and here you go, Alan Vick, our NASCAR expert and my buddy. He said a little pitch between your cheek and gum, saying Walt Garrison, Harry Gant, and Kel Yarbrough. Oh man, yeah, that's classic. That's when NASCAR was NASCAR, baby. I don't care what anybody says. when you see Bobby Allison and Kelly Arbor fight on the back stretch of Daytona, the very first Daytona that was ever televised in 1979, those days are missing, brother. All right, let's see. JR says Luna is a great personal sized pizza. Their salad dressing is spectacular. Johnny, you know everything. Like, do you ever sleep? I love Johnny. He is so damn smart. It just makes me sick. No, I'm kidding. I love Johnny Johnny knows I'm teasing him. He is like one of the best human beings you'll ever find. And definitely when the greatest part about Johnny is when you're on a road trip with the Pirates, he is he's one of those people that's always there. We need more Johnny Robertsons in our fan base. Not that we have a bad fan base, but oh my God, if we had more Johnny Robertsons, we would have like facilities that nobody could beat. I'm just telling you, he's that awesome. Let's see. Craig says, how good can a salad dressing be, Johnny? Now, this sounds like a commercial.
Okay. I know. No, to be fair to Johnny, I mean, with ranch, you can get you with ranch heads, man. I'm telling you, there are some snobs when it comes to ranch, and there is a big damn difference between places that make their own ranch and some ranch off the shelf. So, the salad dressing can be very good. It can vary.
I like, for me, like I love salads, and so some days I'm really good. I might get Italian, and then there's other days when I love blue cheese. I know it may clog my arteries. It may be the worst thing ever. I like balsamic. I like to mix it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have like the go-to like only ranch. I love ranch, but there's some days I want Italian, some days balsamic. I try all the different salad dressings. Not that this is the salad dressing.
Blue cheese with the big old chunks, and then I put more blue cheese on top. Real crumble blue cheese.
Yeah.
Y'all ever tried blue cheese with onion rings?
No, but
take blue cheese dressing and dip your onion rings in them. I'm telling you.
Landis, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think I've done that before.
There you go. See, Landis got taste.
I'm a blue cheese guy.
He dips everything but pecans.
The blue cheese with the dip. That's something.
Oh my God.
There you go. I've done that. You get your mouthful of chew, then put blue cheese in there. That's excellent.
I thought you were saying
They call that what was the other Skipper's Delight? I think blue cheese with dip is called Meth Head's Delight. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God. There goes our sponsorships, Coach. We're trying to.
Hey,
no salad dressing. Oh, here you go.
All right, guys, we've gotten way off topic. All right, we got more. All right,
you ever put blue cheese in your gum? That's from.
Do I ever put blue? No, that would be ridiculous. It goes with dip, but it doesn't go with gum. That's asinine.
Hey guys,
what Johnny says? That's why I listen to you guys. You'll like the same stuff that I do. Absolutely, Johnny, because you're a winner, man. If you're not first, you're last. You are the winner. Johnny has like the best. For me, he has like the best like stats as far as like things that really you never think about, and they really challenge you, and not like I can tell you about walks, strikeouts, that kind of thing, but he knows stuff
that's cool.
It'll blow your mind.
In all seriousness, JR is very good with stats. He's very knowledgeable, and he's a great East Carolina fan.
That's awesome.
And by the way,
guys, we got it. Go ahead, Dave.
I got one more thing, and then we'll wrap it up. I promise, Kyle. Coach, you made that commitment. Can I tell the guys about what you said if we go to the O word?
Go ahead.
All right. I just want to get permission because we were talking behind the scenes. Coach said that if we go to Omaha, that we all need to get rent like a RV and go out there, and Kyle and all of us will be together. We're going to have, he said, we're going to do it up in style. We'll be styling and profiling, Kyle. And we're going to go to Omaha, and we'll be the first podcast to broadcast from as far as ECU sports in Omaha.
What do you think, Landis? Can you make it?
I'll be there.
If we make it to Omaha, I think a lot of Pirates will find a way.
Even I told Coach,
we're in the RV.
Hey, Landis.
Oh, don't worry. We'll work it out. I can promise you.
Hey,
y'all
I
ever
think we
put
can.
you in the back and bubble gum in your
Coach.
RV?
Hey, Coach, I tell you what we're going to do. We'll get one from Camping World, and I'll take that big damn American flag, and we'll have it over there because I love American flags. I've got one here in the snack shack.
Oh yeah.
We'll have that big damn American flag, and we'll be going down the highway. And why don't you stop me?
Hey, I may have to drive the truck that has the yellow blinking lights, to make sure you can get under the overpasses.
And the wide load.
The wide.
All right, so
hey, one more thing, but no fear, that's a long trip, but we can count on Kyle with all those damn batteries.
That's right. I'll have plenty of car batteries there in case the RV battery goes dead. I'll be well stocked on the diehard batteries.
So in other words, you can't get mad and throw batteries at people. We need you to be disciplined.
I'll refrain from battery throwing until we arrive in Omaha.
Okay, all right, that'll work. If one of those AI umpires are there, we'll just throw the battery at him or her. I don't want to get in trouble. Do you guys have anything? Oh, here you go. Here's one more, guys. Sorry. You better not rent the Griswold station wagon.
Holiday Road.
That would actually be cool. I used to love some station wagons, but back in the day. Kyle, do you have anything before we get out of here, bro?
I did not love station wagons. No, I've got nothing, guys. Fresh out of topics. We can ask, since National Lampoon was brought up, who's everybody's favorite Audrey and Rusty. But I don't know how many people go that deep into the National Lampoons. Hell, Juliette Lewis, baby.
Juliette Lewis,
the hottest ugly girl ever.
Anthony Michael Hall was the best.
Okay, we'll go. I agree. We'll go with Anthony Michael Hall for Rusty, Juliette Lewis for the best Audrey. All right, there you go.
This is a really bad show because Kyle and I are agreeing on everything. This made the ratings probably, even though we have a lot right now, I don't know, post when it's pre-recorded, I don't know how many people are going back in the archives. You mean Dave and Kyle agreed on something? No, we can't listen. All right, what about you guys? What's your final thoughts? Or do you have a favorite?
Audrey and Rusty.
Audrey and Rusty.
Yeah. Guys, you dig deep into the National Lampoon series. Do you even know what the hell we're talking about?
No, I don't know.
Hey, you got to remember Rusty trying to make his move, on the show there. He was doing his eyebrows and stuff like that.
You talking about European Vacation?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's nobody's favorite Rusty. All right, there you go.
All right. Well, good luck to the Pirates. We have the Wilmington's game. Is that Brooks Field, right? On Wilmington, I believe, off the top of my head.
Yes.
And then we're going to be back it's going to be great to be back home. Make sure you get your tickets at ecpirates.com. I'm sure that hey, Coach, can they sit out there with you? We got the best Pirate fans because they watch and listen to Sports Objective. Can they just say, I'm sitting with Coach Paul Hill, and they can be out there with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
And they can be. You and Stephanie, I'm sure, will be a great host and hostess to them out there.
Oh, we will. Tell them to bring it on. Let's pack the stadium, brother.
Just like the Texas series, man, there was probably 12,000 people. I don't care what they say in the stats book. That was the most packed I've ever seen Clark LeClaire. So,
Landis, are you going this weekend?
Yeah, we're probably gonna go this weekend. We might go Wednesday to Elon.
Right.
You're going to be are you out in the jungle, Landis?
We've been getting sometimes we'll make our way out there. We usually get seats behind there, and then walk out there. So.
All right. And next year, the next couple of years, you'll be in the observation deck with Coach Hill, right?
Yeah, with all our sponsorships.
Yeah.
Man, I'm excited about the sponsorship. I can't wait. Oh, my phone's ringing. Let me see who this is. Ever ready.
All right.
All right. And maybe, hey, Kyle, what if you could have? I'm serious. I'm trying to wrap this up, but this came to mind. Kyle is one of the best, alcohol, and I mean this sincerely, aficionados. I know,
I don't know about that. I got something else I might be an aficionado on, but we won't get into that on the show. Not yet, anyway.
No, but for bourbon, different things, he could tell you all the different types.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I wouldn't categorize me as a bourbon expert, Dave, but I do enjoy bourbon. But
if you
certainly
had,
don't
well,
have
here's the question, generically
But
speaking,
where were you going with this, Dave?
I'm trying to get to it. If you could have one alcohol sponsor, who would it be? Like right now, like if you had one official.
Buffalo Trace.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, great bourbon.
Yeah, that's about the only non-beer that I really like. I like bourbon is my favorite. So not that I drink that much.
Yeah,
so.
if they want to give me free bottles of Buffalo Trace to promote them, I'll gladly do it. No cash
Is
need
that-
to be exchanged.
So in your NIL deal, we have to have the Buffalo Trace.
And we can look. They can supply me with bottles of Buffalo Trace. I can resell them for below market price, and we'll not need cash. That'll be fine.
Well, all right. Well, guys, thank you so much. It's been an honor to be with both of you again. By the way, for those wondering, Christian had trouble with his internet, so it wasn't Kyle. Kyle only, and
I didn't do anything to Christian.
No. And by the way, I love.
Oh, you're saying I wasn't the only one with internet trouble? I got you.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, I was not. Yeah, I was not saying you had anything to do with that. But the problem is he has HughesNet, so you're not being serious.
I'm dead serious. Bullshit. He has HughesNet. It is 2025, son, and you can get Starlink anywhere. What are you doing with HughesNet? Get out of the contract, Christian. Jesus Christ.
He's gonna kill me.
HughesNet.
Tell my family I'm gonna be on an episode of Dateline. Tell everybody that I love them. So anyway, guys, you're awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate Landis and Coach Hill. Y'all been a great addition to the team. We're going to work really hard. If you want to be a sponsor, then let us know. You hit us up on social media, or you can call me directly, 252-290-0375, and let us know how we can take your business to the next level. Right, Coach?
Hey, it sounds great. I got my cue. I've got to go.
All right. Steffi says bye-bye. All
Bye,
right,
guys. Enjoyed it.
All right, bye-bye.
You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates. You're watching The Sports Objective, the podcast for Pirates.